What's going on, everyone? Billy is back here with another review. We've got Mumm-Ra. Thank you very much for joining me. Lights, Camera, Action Figures here on YouTube. At ActionFigures is my handle. You can find me on Instagram at ThunderPunch He-Man. And today we're going to take a look at Mumm-Ra Dream Master. Now, obviously it's not fitting in frame. It's quite large. But, you know, what are you going to do? It's a very large figure. Maybe I need a little different setup for this type of stuff. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get into it. And do stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe because I will be doing some podcasts coming up soon. I'll be doing a regular podcast once a week with someone, with some guests and different things. So we got some things planned. And I think we're probably 50, 60 away from 500 subscribers. You know, we've done, I don't know, 30 videos, 20 videos or so. So we're moving along. But make sure you subscribe, hit the like button if you can. Excuse me, and make sure you share it. But here's the thing. So I did get this from Big Bad Toy Store a while back. I've had it for a little while. If you are a mint on, or a mint inbox, or a mint on package, you know, collector, you can see there that his right arm is not inside the slot where it should be. And that may be a problem for you. You know, another thing too, there's no more sleeve covers for these unless you're getting like an SDCC piece, or I do know that the new, I want to say the Light Up Eyes Mumm-Ra and Lion-O are coming with slip covers, but you know, no slip covers anymore. So, and it's a little flimsy. This plastic inside is very hard, but this is, you know, it's flimsy. So if you depending on how you grab it and how it gets shipped to you, you might have some issues. So if you're a mint collector and you like to open it, keep that in mind. But we're going to go ahead and get it busted open. Before we do, show you the back there. Shows him as a Dream Master. You can see he's kind of translucent, which obviously we're doing a translucent figure here. But the bio on the back, which is pretty good. And this is a great episode if you go watch it maybe you probably can't find it on YouTube. They're pretty funny about putting stuff up, but you can probably find some of it, you know, a couple minutes worth of it. But Dream Master is a sinister alter ego of Mumm-Ra, who wields dark sorcery to infiltrate the Thundercats' dreams. He summons spectral dream selves and engages them in nightmarish mental battles. He thrives on psychological warfare, exploiting vulnerabilities, and to wreak havoc on the Thundercats. And if I'm not mistaken, it's, you know, Wily Kitten Cat, Panthro, Chitara, and Tigra. And you see these, he has these like canopic jars, or they're urns. You know, you have to watch the episode. It's really good. But right now we're going to just do the figure. And we're going to see how it compares to the first release of the Mumm-Ra. And we're going to check it out and see how it does. And, you know, it looks good. I mean, obviously with the arms out of place there, but everything looks good. Hopefully the joints are nice and tight and everything works. Everything moves like it's supposed to. I would have liked to have had, instead of the second head portrait, I would like to have had the Mammut or, you know, Ravage. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's get it out of the package, take a look at it, see how it is, and we'll go from there. All right, stay tuned. All right, so we're back. We've got Mumm-Ra, the ever-living, the Dream Master, out of the packaging. And as you can see, no head, no cape, no hands, nothing here. And I mean, everything's off to the side. I want to go straight into this cape with the figure. And I brought in the Mumm-Ra from 2021, the first one we received. There is another one that's red and black. That was a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, I believe. I think Super7 is selling on their website now as well. I don't have that one. All right, I skipped it. I believe it was the Priestess or Evil Priestess. I can't recall exactly what it was, but the translucent figure, obviously I want it. the the Dream Master, the storyline is pretty cool. But before we get into showing off some pictures here and there, I'll show some poses and different things with the hands and all. I do want to show off the cape real quick, because that's kind of the center point for me with Mumm-Ra. He has a cape. And if he doesn't have a cape, then is he Mumm-Ra the ever living? In my opinion, no. It's like Superman without a cape. He's like, basic man. I don't know. So maybe that's just being a little dramatic. But so I'm going to go ahead and hold this up here, as you can see. So the silk cape in the back, that comes with the new Mumm-Ra. All right, with the translucent figure. This one on the front here, the cloth, the red, comes with the 2021 version. As you can see, the new cape is much larger. If we flip it over, you can see it's done in a silk type finish, satin. The cape from the new one it's much larger than the first cape. Now, is that a problem? You say, okay, so what? Whatever. But there's some things I'm going to point out. So I'm going to drop the old one, or the new one, and show the old one right here for a second. Now, see how I'm holding this up? One hand. There's a wire that runs from this corner right here. And you can see here I can bend it up. Okay. It runs from there, right here, all the way up around here where you see the holes that go on the bracers or the gauntlets on his wrists. Runs around. There's a peg hole right here that goes on his back. There's a wire all the way through here, so you can kind of station this how you want. You see the holes here again for the wrists, and it goes all the way down to this corner down here. Okay, so you can do what you want to do with the corners. Now, right here at the bottom, there is no wire. But on the back, there are 3 wires. So there's one here where it's stitched, one down the middle all the way, and one to the right here. So it's got 4 wires. 3 in the stitching, so 1, 2, 3, and then from corner all the way around to corner. Now, you're asking yourself, okay, so what, man? Move on. But there's an issue with this. This is perfect. All right. So the issue technically is with the new one. Now, the new one looks great. It's a fantastic looking cape. I love it. I really do. I was very excited about it when I saw it. But you can see where the 3 wires are stitched right here down these stitch lines here. Okay, so there are wires. You can fold it in and out, but there's no wire in this at all. So if you want to fold this up, it falls over. It doesn't stay. Even right here. See this? Now this becomes a problem, because when you want to put these holes on his bracers, or like I said, gauntlets, whatever you want to call it, his wrists. We'll just go with his wrist. There's little hooks on his wrist. This doesn't help when it doesn't stay. It just flaps around. Okay, flops around, whatever. The other thing is this peg hole, which is like having this peg hole here, but this has a wire in this though. Okay, no wire here. You can see it flops around. Okay, so, and the reason why that's an issue is the back of Mumm-Ra on the new figure does not have this peg. Well, I don't even need to pull these up. I can just leave these down. But you can see here, there's a peg on this. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. There's a peg right there on the back. Okay, on the old one. On the new buck, which is this, it's the same buck, by the way. I say new buck because it's been modified, but it's just that peg. There's no peg. So essentially, the spot you would put the cape on, it's not there. Okay. Now, again, Maybe saying, so what, big deal. Use the, use the neck peg. I'm going to go ahead and pull this. I'm just going to get this out of the way all the way. Well, you know what, we'll leave it there. The problem is when you come here and you put this over the neck. Now, the reason why I have his arms out is because this is the way I display the Mumm-Ra. I like to have his arms wide open with the cape and everything. With this, when it goes over the neck, okay, obviously there's not a head on there, but you see now where it is. But this doesn't have, you can't frame this how you want it. So it just sits up. But the purpose of having these holes here are for the wrist. So if you wanted to come out and you wanted to put this on the wrist, all it's going to do is it's just going to continue to fall off. It's not going to stay on. It's a little aggravating, you know. Now I will show a picture right here where you can see in this picture how I have him posed. This is how I'm going to leave him because I like the cape on him. I do want him to be shown that way. So you have to have the arms kind of pulled forward. And the reason for that is to show, you know, or not to show, but in order to pull the cape forward, you know, you get the idea. All right, so, you know, you see the pictures, but I think there's, you know, like I said, multiple reasons. I think there's multiple reasons why there's no wire. One is cost savings, right? I don't know how much cost savings you need to do because this is the third repaint of this buck. There's no Mumm-Ra or Ravage with the figure. There's no Sword of Plundar. There's no gyroscope handle. It does have the new urns or canopic jars. I call them canopic jars because it's, you know, the pyramid, the whole thing. But they're urns, which they're right here. I can show those off here in a bit. And it does have some new lightning effects. There's two of them. And they are unique. They're not the same mold. They are different. And I'll show a couple pictures of that here in a little bit. But the Sword of Plundar that came with the original figure, which is right here, okay, that doesn't come with this version. And then the gyroscope handle from New Thundera being reformed. And then, of course, the big thing being Mumm-Ra, he's not included. So he's still $75, I believe. I mean, that's what I paid for him, and it was something crazy. But for the cape to not be wired, and I think there's, like I don't know if I said this or not, but the cape not being wired, I think, because if you have a wire in here, like you do on the original, you won't be able to get the head to pop on, because this is much thicker with the wire. But again, this has on the back a spot for the cape. Unless I'm mistaken and I'm just stupid and wrong, which, I mean, it's not unusual. I could be wrong. Everybody can be wrong once in a while. Anyway, I had it on there. You can see where the hole's bigger, but I had it on that peg. And it worked out fine. Like I said, you saw the image of how I had it posed. So the wire is a missed opportunity. I don't know if you can't get it to go to a certain point. If I want to put his arms out, you know, I can't, like right here, it's just not going to, it's just going to continue to move. Even if I have a head on here, like it's not going to, I'm not going to stay. Well, yeah, but now look at the back of it. It's like, I don't know. It's just not, okay, it came off again, but it's just not right, man. That's a lot of money to spend on something that's not right. And the cape is the big thing for Mumm-Ra. I don't know, that kind of just ruins the whole thing. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll move the original Mumm-Ra out of the way, and we'll go ahead and start showing off a few different accessories with this, and we'll get into that. I just wanted to go over the cape first. Again, this is smaller. It's wired. Yes, this is larger. Bigger does not, I was going to say doesn't, but does not always mean better, obviously. The wired cape is especially around the sides and the top, really make a big difference. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this this next part without the other Mumm-Ra in the picture. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this review with the Half Cape Wonder. It's a great figure, it really is. A few things to point out. This blue right here on the, skirt that he wears, it's supposed to be red and black, and I think this should be a black translucent. Now they did it on the head. You can see, the black here. It's translucent. You can see my finger through it. And also on the head, it should have been, red, black, red, black. They did red, red, black, black. I don't know if that's significant for anyone or a big deal, whatever. But, as far as this goes right here, that should be black. Matter of fact, let's take a look at this. Bring the box back in. Yeah, definitely a bluish black color. As like the first release, which I'll just go ahead and slide in real quick. Yeah, black, red. Should have been red, black, whatever. Again, on the head, should be red, black, red, black. They did red, red, black, black. Does that matter? Probably not. Maybe the aesthetics of this look more appealing or pleasing. So maybe that's why they did that. I'm not in-house, so I don't know. I didn't have a chance to ask Brian any questions about this. Last time I talked to him from Super 7 was right around Christmas, New Year time, somewhere around that time frame. So I'll get him back on the channel. We'll talk a little bit. I'll ask him some questions. I will bring this up. Please comment below. Let me know if you bought this. What you did with the cape. As you can see, it's pretty tight. Once you get it in, it won't move too much from the neck peg being so tight. So before anyone says, well, once you throw the old cape on there from the first release, it won't fit with the wire. I try to put a head down on it, and I just can't get it to fit down. And I'll slide them in real quick, even though I showed pictures earlier of what I wanted, how I want to display it. Just to give you an idea, if this had the wire, you could bend this down. You could have it like this. You could have it out with his arms. It would be, I don't know, so much better. I like the smaller cape. Gives me more cartoon vibes, but whatever. We'll go with what we got, and we're just going to kind of leave it like that. I won't swap the head because it was a pain to put on. But here you do have an open mouth portrait, which both of these came with the first figure. I don't like this one too much. I prefer this one, so later I'll swap it. But for now, for the video, we'll just leave it the way it is. He stands okay. His joints aren't bad. Once you get him in position the way you want him, he stands okay. His joints are pretty tight. His ankles are a little wonky, which is to be expected. He's a big figure, but he doesn't fall over. He moves a little bit if you touch him or mess with him. Once you get him set, though, he's good. He does have the ab crunch still, as you can see there. I don't know if you need to really utilize that or not, but it does still function. So pretty much the same buck except for the tab on the back, some color differences, which this looks, appealing to me. Maybe that's why they went with it. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. The cape, again, I keep doing this, but having no wire here, it's just, and down the sides, it's mind-blowing to me. For $70, $80 figure, whatever, $75 figure, $80 with shipping, tax and all. It's kind of crazy. But he does come with some unique, like blast effects. And with these, they are both unique. They're different molds. They're not the same sculpt. So you can put these on. You can change them out. We'll change out one of them here. See how easy this is. Pops out. Let's see. Come on. There we go. So if you want to get a little action, him shooting a little bit of lightning there, effect or whatever, Cool. Now, the cool thing about these, the other cool thing about these blast effects or lightning effects, if you pull these off, they do snap onto these fingers that come with the figure, by the way. So they are designated for those hands. If you take the Mumm-Ra hand, it's an open hand. It's kind of like an open grip hand. The first finger here, you slide it on until it kind of like pops into place. You can use this. Now granted, you have to kind of keep it up at an angle like this. So if you bring him in, if you kind of, I'll just put it over here just to give you an idea, but you can use this as well. It will hold, it will stay on. So, you can use both, and there's two of them. So it comes with two. So you don't really need to use both if you don't want to on this figure. You can use one on your other Mumm-Ra. If the black and red Mumm-Ra come with this open-fisted hand, open grip hand, I should say, then you can put that on just like that and just angle the, the peg how you want it. And there you go. So you've got an extra little accessory you can use. I would have liked to seen a little more. Now the jars, there's 4 jars. They are, from an episode with the Dream Master, obviously. If you can see those, they have some thread on them, some string to hold them. I call them canopic jars, which are like, they're jars to hold like organs for Egyptian, like pharaohs and different things. But these are essentially urns. And he traps Wily Kit and Cat, Tigra, Panthro, and Cheetara. So you get those accessories there, which is a nice nod to the episode. You get some open grip hands here, like you do with the other Mumm-Ra. And then you get 2 hands that are not quite fisted. They will hold an accessory. But he doesn't come with his vintage sword, which I think is a big miss, because if you bought the super pack, which means you bought all 4 from Super 7, which I did not do for the last few waves. Wave 11, I did purchase all 4 from Super 7, and it's a couple of guns. I think it's a satchel for Robert Bill, but there's a vintage toy head translucent. But it would have been nice if it came with the sword. And again, I'm going to refer back to the box, and the box art, obviously it's going like the vintage. They're showing you, go ahead, pick this up here. They're showing you the vintage toy sword. So why I didn't have that, I don't know. Would have been nice to have. So is what it is. Good figure overall. Is it worth the money? I'm going to say no, because just of, the cape. The cape itself, man. I mean, I know I keep repeating myself. Like I said earlier, probably repetitive and stupid, but I mean, don't you want this to fit properly? I mean, don't you want this to be, a part of his get-up? Don't you want this to be what he wears and push all this aside? This is what you want him to rock, man. I mean, in my opinion. So I bring one arm forward. That way I can put that on there. Kind of bend that a little bit to try to pull that down. And you can see it'll hold it when you do that, because you've put some, it's kind of taut, it's been pulled. But you definitely cannot go, you definitely can't go out and about like this right here. You just can't do it. I mean, so limited on how you can pose it. Now, if you found a different way and you found something that works for you and you want to share it with me and let me know, please do. I said it's not worth it. If you want to take the cape off altogether, you want to say the heck with the cape, I guess we could go ahead and do that. Let's pop it off. Toss the cape to the side. We'll do the other head for the portrait. And, you know, he does look good. He does. I mean, you know, Super 7 does a good job overall. Some paint app issues here and there. I've had a couple of, obviously we all had Tigra with the bleed through. I had a couple on the, and I have him here to show off just for comparison for the Mumm-Ra. But the LJN Lion-O, I had one with the nose paint was completely missing. Rudy was supposed to mail me this when I got the cat's layer for the Lion-O here, but I never received it. And that's, you know, is what it is. But yeah, size comparison. Obviously, Mumm-Ra is in the right, you know, scale. Everything looks good there. But again, beautiful cape. Really not usable for certain poses. I think, when does Mumm-Ra not have a cape in ever living form? If someone could tell me that. But please comment below. Let me know what you think. I would say if 1 to 10, I usually don't do this, but I would say 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7. I was excited for this one. I really was. If I can find a way to get that other cape on there, maybe I'll cut the wire out of the other cape around the neck area and pop it on. Because I want to display him. I really do. The translucent just looks great. It's I don't know. It's a fantastic figure. It's little stupid shit. It's like, you know, we pay all this money and, you know, you didn't include the dog, Mammut. You didn't include the sort of Plundar. You know, no slipcover. This is the 3rd print on this buck. What are we trying to save money on? Why do we not put, and again, I'm on and on and on and on and on, but why do we not put a wire in the part where we need it? I mean, maybe somebody can tell me. Yeah, it's kind of a waste of money and resources and time. I hope they saved a shit ton of money, but at the end of the day, man, it rolls downhill. So if you like it, you know, let me know in the comments. Make sure you please respond if you can. Just give me your thoughts. If it's not a big deal to you, I respect that. Everyone's welcome here to comment. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for some stuff coming down the road. We've got some podcasts lined up, like I said before. But yeah, man, what a shame. Just a fantastic figure. The cape being a very essential part of this figure. Again, I compared him to Superman. Like, you know, without a cape, what is Superman? So, thanks for watching. And, yeah. Disappointment. So, but he's still great. It's a hard thing. I don't know. It's a hard thing to jostle, man. Go back and forth with. So I will be displaying him. I'll get him figured out, and I'll probably put him the way I had him in the picture I showed you earlier. Get him back in that stance, and put the rest of the stuff away. The lightning effects, while they're cool and all, I won't be using them. So comment below. Hit me up. Let me know. Share the video. And until next time, you all take care.